Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In this vlog we are going to take you on our journey and tell you our story about how we bought an almost 200-year-old log home in the Swedish forest. Only upon arrival we could not find it. Had we been conned? When I lost my health and became bedbound, with the medical experts giving me a small chance for improvement of symptoms, we decided we needed to make a big change. In the hope that it would help me to go from this to this. Please subscribe to our channel if you like to follow us on our journey through life. See how we transform a derelict house on a shoestring, break into our own house, defend ourselves to unwanted visitors, come to love Swedish auctions, how we renew our vows in a DIY shop, see our most wonderful Swedish friends who warmly welcomed us into their heart and into their country. But most of all, don't miss how we land ourselves in prison. Before I share our story, how we bought this wonderful wooden cabin in the woods, which looked tremendously neglected and in a really bad way. Let's first put the kettle on. Make yourself a nice cuppa while you settle in and listen to our story. For those of you who are new to our channel, we are Ose and Ariranta from the Happy Life Show. After I had been bedbound for 5 years, we knew we had to make a change, in the hope that we could turn things around and change me from this to the happy this. After doing an online search, we ended up finding a beautiful homestead in the middle of nowhere in the forest of Sweden. Ose said, don't worry about all the work that needs to be doing. I'm a builder and I can get it all back in working order again. So we bought it online unseen. The process of buying in Sweden was very easy. There is no need for solicitors and there is hardly any red tape. You just agree with the seller the amount you want to buy the house for, and after signing papers, the house is yours after it has been registered in the land registry in Sweden. The beautiful natural wildness of Sweden made that we had high hopes that it would improve my health. And we also desired to make Sweden our permanent home as soon as this is possible. Seeing the wildlife, of course, this one from a very safe distance, is something we really looking forward to. After it was all official, it was time for Ose to go and see the house, which we had bought just from photos. online and through email correspondence with the seller. So we booked everything and he needed to take the train, ended up in the wrong place, had to quickly bus back to Heathrow Airport. And by that time he thought, well, I've missed my flight. But no, miracles happen. The flight was delayed and there it was. Jose could still catch his flight to Stockholm. Because his flight was delayed by an hour, Jose thought, well, I have missed my next flight. But what happened is they wait. They know there's a passenger on its way, and the small airplane that would bring him to the north of Sweden was waiting for him on the runway. After he landed in the north of Sweden, he picked up the hired car that was waiting for him and made his way to the area where the house is situated. After a few hours' drive, he made camp in the woods. After a beautiful sunrise, Jose was ready to start his second day of searching. So far, he was unable to locate the house. After making himself a breakfast, he was ready to go and get back onto the road. After driving the road up and down for a few times, there was no sign of the house. The problem was, although we had been given the number of the country road nearest to the property, this road turned out to be almost 200 kilometers long. It felt like searching for a needle in a haystack. By this time, Jose started to wonder, have we been conned? Do I need to make the phone call and tell Ayuranta that the money is gone and there is no house? Being the champion he is, he was unwilling to give up, so he continued to search and drove the road over and over again until it was time to call it a day and make a new camp in the woods. Camping under such a beautiful night sky, experiencing the wilderness and the wildlife in Sweden, increased Jose's desire to make this beautiful country our home. But after 2 long days searching, he started to worry. Did he have to make that call and give Ariranta the bad news that the place we bought did not exist. After each searching day, Jose spent the nights under the most beautiful star-filled skies. Growing up in the valleys of Wales, where he spent most of his time on the mountains, being one with nature made Indiana feel well at home in Sweden. Unwilling to give up and letting go of the dream to restore Aranta's health and take her for long walks through the beautiful forest, he was determined to do another search. After making himself a good breakfast, he was ready for a new day. We had put all our eggs in one basket in the hope that Sweden could deliver the miracle we needed to restore my health to the point at which I could walk again. And who knows, maybe even walk a part of Kungsleden Trail. After a good night's sleep, Jose bought himself a nice cup of coffee and got some petrol and was ready for a new day of searching. Again, Jose noticed a small sign by the side of the road, reading Til Salut. Despite being convinced that it wasn't the right place because the name we were given was something completely different and not Til Salut, he decided to turn onto the track and check it out in the hope someone would be able to help him with some directions. And suddenly, there it was, right in front of him. He recognized the buildings from the pictures sent by the seller. It was there. Needless to say, Jose was over the moon that he didn't need to place that phone call to Aranta. He spent the next few days exploring the land around the house, looking at the buildings, and just trying to make it a little bit ready for when he would bring Aranta over. It was very derelict. The house had been lying there, standing there, unloved for decades. He already determined that this would become Phil's gym. Wherever Jose goes, he makes sure he does his exercises and he uses whatever he gets his hands on. If there is no official gym equipment, he just uses the farm equipment from the last century that was lying around. And looking around, Jose knew this was everything, even more than we ever could have dreamed of. After cleaning up for a few days, he had a good wash before he started making his way back to England, so he could show Aranta the photos he had taken, but also to prepare for the difficult journey of transporting Aranta to their new home in Sweden.
Every time I'm down, yeah, you make me smile. You're the solution.
Transporting me back to Sweden would be a whole undertaking due to the fact that I was unable to sit unsupported. Jose was very motivated to get me back into that healthy environment and booked a trip over sea and land instead of airplane. We booked into a cruise, which made that we had to stay over 2 nights, which was a wonderful change after lying in a bed behind the same window for 5 years. I couldn't use the facilities, only spent the time in the cabin, but it still felt like a wonderful holiday. And after the ship stopped in Kristiansand to disembark some passengers, the ship continued its journey to Sweden. After 2 nights, we finally arrived in Gothenburg. I enjoyed the sights while Jose drove us from Gothenburg to the northern part of Sweden. And we stopped in many places just to make sure that my body didn't get any extra stress. But wow, what a country, Sweden. The beauty is just way beyond what I could have imagined. We camped out in the night. And enjoyed the sunsets. Extremely beautiful. Each morning after beautiful sunset, we continued our drive further up north. Before making the trip, my brothers in Holland arranged a special wheelchair for me to make it possible to experience the beautiful landscape and wildlife in Sweden. We also bought a really old camper van, which we called Bessie. This place is so beautiful, you really have trouble catching it to show you guys. It's also a feeling more than anything. And no, this man does not have a super. This man is fishing. And he caught a really big fish. During his first visit, Jose had prepared one room, that at least one room was tidy and usable for I wanted the rest. And sleep at night, of course. But instead of being in a bedroom, like the last 5 years, now it was possible for me to lie outside. Wherever Jose was doing something, he made sure there was a bed nearby so he could keep an eye on me, help me when needed, and I could breathe in fresh air. Finally, after living our life for 5 years in a bedroom, an online search led us to beautiful Sweden. We took the risk in buying this gorgeous derelict property, unseen, sailing for 3 days and 2 nights from Newcastle to Gothenburg, followed by an almost week traveling up to the northern part of this amazing country. We arrived at our future home looking for a miracle.